What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another storytime video. And today we're going to be talking about my first ever injury. So for this story, we're going to have to go back in time all the way to 13 years ago in 2006. And yes, I know it might be hard to remember anything that happened in 2006 for me, because I was only 3 years old when this injury happened. So, let me provide a little context just like I did for the last episode. Actually, do I have any toys around so I can demonstrate this? Okay. Alright, I've got a little dragon right here. So, basically, you guys, if you guys know, when kids are young, they love to jump around a lot. They're super hyper, and when I was younger, I used to love to just jump around on my parents and grandparents in my own bed. So you guys can probably already see where this is going. So let's just pretend like this is me. So one day during summer, while I was still 3 years old, I was jumping around on my grandmother's bed while I was visiting her house. Actually, wait, no, I don't. Actually, wait, never mind. We were living there. But my mom and dad were at work, so I had to stay downstairs. Or I think my mom might have had a doctor's appointment. And my dad was at work. Anyway, so I was just staying downstairs with my grandmother, because it was a two-story building, just like this one, just like this house that I'm living in now is, except this one's a lot better, because the other house that we lived in when I started this channel was it was super old. But anyway, so I was just in her room, just bouncing around on her bed like this, and all of a sudden, you guys can probably already see where this is going. Whoop! I fell backward off the bed and landed right on my head. And thank God it made a loud noise, because my grandmother heard it and she ran into the room to see what had happened, and she immediately took me to the hospital. And lo and behold, I had a concussion. Now the thing is, I actually got lucky with this injury, because I landed completely like this. So anything could have happened. I could have broke one of my vertebrae in my neck or something. But nope, I only ended up having a concussion, thankfully. And the other fortunate thing is, the bed wasn't that high up. It was only like 2 feet off the ground, which for a little kid, that is high up to fall from and land up right on your head. And while we were at the hospital that she took me to, I don't know what hospital she took me to. I started throwing up there, and don't remember why. Oh, I'm sorry. Just had to burp. And I don't remember how long it took for it to fully heal. I don't remember how long it took for the concussion to go away, but yeah. So that's the story of my first ever injury. I don't know how long the video has been yet. Actually, let me check. Okay, well, I can't see because the Rubik's Cube is in the way. Yes, I'm using a Rubik's Cube to hold this up, okay? It's only been 5 minutes. Yep, I just messed up the There we go. So yeah, again, I was bouncing around in my grandmother's bed, and keep in mind, this was when I was 3 years old, because even though I was born in 2002, my birthday hadn't happened yet in 2006 when I got a concussion. So that was the first injury I ever had in my life, and it was a pretty bad one to be the first. And you know what, since we've only been here for a few minutes, I think we should actually do 2 stories during this episode. So, basically, now we are going to be talking about my first ever broken bone, which if you've seen the old Storytime video that I deleted, you will already know what it is. But if you haven't, this is for you. So, basically, my Uncle Michael, I said that so weird, my Uncle Michael, he took me, Jacob, and our 2 cousins, Jordan and Reese, who you often see in my videos. He took us to a nearby water park, and you know how people say, no running by the pool? Well, at this water park there wasn't a pool. It was just like a small little park with water. Like there were these like mounted water guns that were just constantly shooting out water, and you could turn them, except you couldn't turn all the way around. Like you could only go like, I think, to about here and over to here. Like you're right, like you could probably see further to your left and to your right than you could turn these things. Like if you, like let's say you were literally just looking straight forward and you turned it the maximum distance, you could still see more stuff over here and over here. If you turned it this way, then you could see on the water gun. Right? You could see further this way than the water gun. So, basically, and also there were these, like, little buckets that had, a water shower at the top of it that was just pouring water into it, and once the bucket got full, it would dump water on to whoever was beneath it. What else was there? Oh yeah, there was this, little ark, this super small ark, and it had holes in it that were just shooting out streams of water at you when you went through it. Or I should say when you went under it. And also there were some just little water holes in the ground that were just shooting up water. And that was pretty much it. And then it was connected to a park, an actual park over to its right or to its left, whichever way you came from. But that's not where the injury happened. The injury happened at the water park part of this park. Say that 5 times fast. Water park part of this park. So, it was all going good until because you know how people say no running by the pool. Well, I was running barefoot around in the water park part of the park. Put that in the comments. Hashtag water park part of the park. I just said that wrong. I just said water park part of the park. Hashtag water park part of the park. Make that a hashtag, someone. Somebody make that a hashtag, please. So, I was running around the hashtag water park part of the park. And I was running around barefoot, and I ended up jamming my toe into the ground. And you know, normally when you jam your toe, you're inside running around. But nope, I did it outside, and it was on concrete. And normally when you're inside, you're either on like hardwood or carpet. But I did it on concrete, and I apparently did it so much, I jammed it so hard to well, I stubbed it so hard to a point that the toe broke. And the thing is, I didn't know that it was broken right away, like the broken arm. I just felt immense pain in my toe, and I was like, oh God, I stubbed my toe real bad. But then some started feeling off, like it was tough for me to walk. I had to like hobble, and it was just in a lot of pain. So I just sat down for a while until my Uncle Michael decided to take us back home, and then we just stayed there for a while. Well, take us back here to this house. We decided to just stay there for a while until I started just complaining about it being broken to my mom and dad so much that they honestly thought that it was broken. So my dad took me to the hospital and they x-rayed it. First x-ray of my life, I think. And lo and behold, it was broken. And it wasn't broken so much to where like the whole bone of the toe had came off and it just like completely tore off from the rest of the foot. No, it was a small cut like at the back of the toe. And it was the middle toe. Like, here, let's say my hand is my foot and the cut was right here. Cut was right here. It was a super small one, but it was still very painful. So obviously they couldn't do anything for it. I mean, the only thing that they could do, which they did, was they buddy taped it to the neighboring toe, and they gave me a surgical boot, and it took about 6 weeks for it to fully heal. And yeah, that's the story of my first ever injury and my first ever broken bone, which, believe it or not, that means that my first ever injury was in 2006. My second ever injury, which was my first broken bone, happened all the way in 2017, 11 years later. So then, and then it only took a year and a half for me to get my third one, which was obviously my broken arm, which I've talked about in the previous storytime video. Click the card up here or up here. I don't know. I can't tell which direction from this angle. But click the card up there or up there to go see that video of me talking about my worst injury ever, or titled The Worst Day of My Life, where I talk about my broken arm. And it's not broken anymore, thankfully. Neither is my toe. But anyway, that's the stories of how of my first ever injury, my concussion, and my second ever injury, my broken toe. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, share everything that's good, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace out.